What were you doing in 1996?
Chasing girls, skating downtown Charlotte.
Yeah. It was a good year for hip hop. Mobb Deep came out.
Incredible year for hip hop. Like 96 to like 98.
But particularly 96.
All right.
Mobb Deep, Outkast. Help me out, man. There's a lot of them.
There was so many albums that came out that year.
Who else, man? Jay-Z, I believe.
A
lot.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot.
Martin was funny.
Martin was great.
Fresh Prince was still in there.
Living Single.
There was a lot going on in 96.
Busta Rhymes.
Rhymes came out in 96.
Thank you, Joseph. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. But you know what? That was a long ass time ago.
Long ass time.
You know what else happened in 96?
The Carolina Panthers beat the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And it hadn't happened since, sir. Hello, everyone.
Welcome back to
Under
Construction. Okay, so real quick. We're trying some different things technically. We moved from StreamYard over to Restream. We brought the good mics back out.
Yeah.
Doing podcasts and stuff like that.
I might bust a freestyle.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So if there are any technical issues that you, the viewers, experience, let us know in the chat, and I'll try to fix those. So that
I'm hoping we perform better than the Panthers and the Hornets.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that should be pretty easy.
We could perform better than with a damn iPhone and
like some headphones, some
like
cell phone headphones.
Yeah, like them joints you get from Walmart in the back that's locked up, but they only cost like $5.
The gas station. Like we perform better with those. Man.
We could perform better than both Charlotte professional sports teams. Oh my God, I don't even know. I guess we'll start with the Panthers because that's fresh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say this real quick. All week, the Carolina Panthers were the darling of sports media.
Yep. What a big win in Seattle, right?
Huge win in Seattle. Steve Wilkes should be the coach, which I still think he should be the coach. By the way, Jaguars just beat the Cowboys in overtime. But
pick six to end the game.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But they were the darlings of media, and everyone had picked them to essentially run away with the NFC South, winning their last 4 games, and beating Tampa Bay in the process. But I thought that was a bit premature because Pittsburgh is not like leagues below the Panthers as we saw today.
Can I say something? To me today, I find it hilarious how, there are some people who still question Mike Tomlin. Why? That dude is a hell of a coach, man.
Yeah.
I don't usually hop on this podcast to give the other team and other coaches props like that. Why does media try to count out Mike Tomlin?
We know why. Come on, man. We know why.
Okay, all right. Sorry. I didn't want to be controversial today. But you get the point. You get what I'm saying.
It's the same reason that Steve Wilkes has to do an incredible job to take over the head coaching
by the way, there's some fans out there who are jumping off the Steve Wilkes bandwagon today. Stop it, y'all.
We'll talk about that.
Stop
in a bit. But I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers are a team in flux, much like the Panthers are.
Right.
They're trying to find their starting quarterback. Mitchell Trubisky played incredible today. Which
that doesn't even sound right. But
I know, right? Hey, before the season started, I was on the Mitchell Trubisky bandwagon, and
as far as him coming here,
and everyone laughed at me. But hey,
but it's funny you say that, Kaiser. Here was my opening statement for today's game. The Pittsburgh Steelers are simply a better version of the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah,
that's it.
I agree.
If you want to look at the prototype of the Panthers, you look at the Steelers and say that's a better version. They have a better offensive line. They have a better defensive line. That was the story of the game. They're
both their lines. The trenches.
We
lost about it.
We got our ass thoroughly kicked.
Yeah,
in the trenches today.
But I do think that I think that was all because of coaching. We got game planned.
Speak on it. Expound.
Yeah, I think that I'll Holcomb, although he's been with the team for some time.
Right.
I don't think he's ready to be the defensive coordinator.
I agree with that.
And I don't think Ben McAdoo is a very good offensive coordinator.
So tell the audience what you told me before we got on the air today about the coordinators. I mean, you already kind of said it. But.
No, yeah. I mean, if Steve Wilkes is retained,
right,
he needs to hire
two different coordinators.
Exactly.
Man.
He needs to hire.
And somebody's gonna come at you and be like, "Oh, don't try to blame the coordinators, man. Wilkes is no, man."
I mean, what Wilkes has done for this team since Matt Rule left, I think is unquestionable.
Right.
But then when you look at the game on the field tactically, you're running a draw play on 3rd and 8 in the goal on the goal line.
Kaiser, you know, like just on a personal level, how much I brag on my TV and how much I love it. Like I got a banging ass TV at home, right? I almost threw it out the window. When he
No. Remember, you know what? Now I think about that. Remember last season, the return of Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Panthers on the goal line.
Yeah, man.
You need like 2 yards.
And what did they do?
They ran Sam Darnold.
And what did they say?
And then Matt Rule says after the game that Sam Darnold can do what Cam does, right? We roasted Matt Rule for that comment.
Right.
But now I'm thinking, obviously, Ben McAdoo feels the same way, right?
The same way. Because it's bad when the commentators even question the call.
Yes.
The commentator, like, if y'all don't know, the commentators they're told to be as neutral and as objective as they possibly can.
Nah, but they was like, what the hell?
He threw it out the window. He said, I don't understand that play call.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, very simple game plan by the Steelers. Sell out against the run. We said that in our private chat.
Yeah.
They sell out against the run. And we said, remember, we was like, you got to let Sam Darnold cook. And then the Panthers went down and scored a touchdown. Sam Darnold. Now,
he made him pay. Yeah.
Trubisky played well, but I can't put this on Sam Darnold. I feel like Sam Darnold played well given the circumstances.
Look, man, his trenches, again, his offensive line got their ass kicked. He took 4 sacks today. And we mentioned this right before we went on air. Those 4 sacks came when the offense got predictable. When the Steelers knew that the Panthers couldn't run the ball.
Exactly, yep.
They pinned their ears back and they got to him 4 times. I can't blame Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold didn't turn the ball over. That's kind of all we want out of him, right?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Manage the game.
So I can't put any blame on Darnold today,
Sam Darnold had a QB rating of like 106 today. I mean, what else did you want him to do? I mean, really, without him, we're not even in the game,
man. We're not in the game.
So, but I just think we got game planned. I think their offensive and defense coordinators said, okay, Panthers like to run the ball. We're going to stop that. We're going to make Sam Darnold beat us through the air. And offensively, they said, we're going to run the ball too.
Yeah.
Because the Panthers defense has been weak against the run all season. The last few games, they've strengthened up some. But they tested that today.
I feel like Rodney when I'm about to say this, but let me say this, man. We love Brian Burns, right?
Oh, I love Brian Burns.
We all love Brian Burns.
All pro.
However,
he can't stop the run.
They ran to that left side.
They ran right
as much as they possibly could. They ran right to him, dog.
And what was the biggest issue last season with the defense was
couldn't contain the edges.
Nope. Yep. Because you had Hassan Reddick running crazy on one side,
and Brian Burns trying to do the same.
Yep. And they did that.
And Kaza, this is I'm gonna try to bring this back as soon as I can because I don't want to jump ahead. But remember last week when I said, hey y'all, don't be surprised if the Panthers don't take a quarterback in the draft and they get someone on the edge. Whoever, like, if that is the case, whoever that may be, have to do a hell of a job containing the run a lot better, man.
So I thought about that during the game because this loss is very bad for the Panthers because really, if the Panthers don't make the playoffs, they kind of screwed up, right? Because now you're not going to get a top 3 pick, right? And you're going to be right outside the playoffs looking in. So you're right back in that like 7 to 11 range where in the NFL, you can get a great player anywhere in the first round.
Absolutely.
But you're not going to get like the top player, right?
The guy, so the game changer.
Right. So they're going to have to draft like BPA.
Yep.
And why not an edge rusher? Why not somebody, to set up on the other side from Brian Burns that can set the edge?
And on top of that, man, like I'm looking at this game and especially in the first half, and the safeties are making all the tackles. And that just wasn't a good precedent from the start. And then on top of the safeties making the Jeremy Chin did not have a great game today, man. He missed a lot of tackles in the first half, man. He did not do his job very well in the first half.
Deontay Johnson, he was very shifty. He's hard to tackle.
No. I'm talking about Jeremy Chin supporting the run. I'm not really talking about the pass coverage.
I think that the running backs were getting to the second level so fast. He really just
good point.
I mean, there were times where our D-line, like interior D-line, didn't even touch.
That's very true.
They didn't touch him, and linebackers too. So by the time they get to Jeremy Chin, he's like,
wait, hold on. I was just doing something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh, rub it in, man. Yeah, Reddick does look great in Philly. It's a great fit. Yeah, Kimball also looks good in Dallas too, man. We get it.
Hey, you know what though? I hated to see Hassan Reddick go,
but I understood why
it kind of needed to happen.
Yeah, I understood why they did it.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, so let's look at. We couldn't run the ball, right?
Right.
We only had 21 yards.
21 yards.
On 16 attempts. So only 16 attempts,
man.
Right? Conversely, Pittsburgh had 45 attempts for 156. Now, they were ahead most of the time and were able to salt the game away late and thus kind of, pad running stats. But, God, that's such a – I mean –
But –
okay, so my thing is this. If the other team is stopping the run, like – and you recognize, and even I think they just didn't want to put like the game solely on Sam Darnold's shoulders.
Right.
You trying to tell me you can't come up with better run plays?
Hello. You know what's funny? Every run that I noticed was an attempt to run toward the edges, like the Steelers were doing.
We don't have a guy.
We don't have that guy.
We traded that guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We traded. So.
Foreman is not what is it? East West? Am I getting that right?
Yeah. He's a North South guy.
He's a North South guy. He's not an East West guy.
Yeah.
And we're steadily trying to run this man North East West, and it's not happening.
Wilkes is gonna get. I'm sure he's getting a lot of guff already because the Panthers did get out coached today. But I just think that you have better coordinators. You win that game.
You win that game. Because McAdoo came up with nothing imaginative today.
No.
There was not one play call. I was like, oh, man, that was a great play.
Great play.
Not one time.
It was great plays because of the players.
Because
the touchdown that Sam Darnold threw, God, that was a great play
right.
by him and
because it was covered.
Yeah.
It didn't trick any. It didn't fool anybody.
So I gotta what's Rob Chudzinski doing today?
God,
let me
Chud, where are you, dude? But listen, man. You know what we're not talking about? Third down.
Yes. I can't remember the last time the Panthers allowed that. It was almost like I expected.
It was comical.
Pittsburgh to get the first down on third and long.
Look, as I'm pulling up the stat or trying to find it, I can't see it right now, but it was something ridiculous.
12
like
15.
12. Thank you. Good God Almighty, man. How can you can't win a football game like that? And let's be clear. In the second half, whenever the Steelers needed to play on third down,
they didn't go to J.C. Horn's side of the field.
They didn't go to J.C. Horn's side of the field.
They were like, avoid that side of the field.
Where is 28?
Where Keith Taylor?
Who is 28 covering?
Oh,
let's go to that guy.
He's covering one of our best receivers.
Oh, easy pickings.
Yeah.
Easy money. You could through.
Oh yeah. You like Robo QB in Madden. You know how like in the fourth quarter on Madden, quarterback be going crazy all of a sudden. That was Mr. Trubisky to Deontay Johnson.
Yep.
And you know what really makes this loss painful? You know what I'm gonna say. This was a road game at home. Now it always is whenever we play the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have no idea why there are so many Steelers fans in Charlotte.
I do. I can tell you why.
Why did they move here? Now, I understand that before the Panthers came in 93 to 95,
right?
There were a lot of people that were fans of other teams. We didn't have a team. There were a lot of Redskins fans, a lot of Falcons fans.
It's only three teams. It's the Steelers, Redskins, Cowboys.
That's
it. That was only three teams people rooted for before the Panthers got here.
So the crowd was,
but
I'll say this. Our home team crowd did a better job than I've seen in the past.
I agree.
At Steelers games.
I agree.
There were some times where they got loud.
It just wasn't enough of us.
It wasn't enough. Right. And not just that, you let the Steelers come to our house and act a damn fool. They got penalized. I've never seen so many unsportsmanlike conducts
ever in my life.
Yeah,
but see, you know what's funny? It's funny because the crowd dynamic and the game dynamic are kind of intertwined. You know why? Because we got punked on both ends. That's what makes this loss suck even more.
Yeah.
I feel like we got punked. Look, we don't promote violence here at Under Construction.
I do. I condone violence.
If you're not gonna win the game,
you might beat us on the field.
You might beat us on,
but not in the parking lot. It's Charlotte. We got shooters.
Ooh.
We got shooters. We'll take you up to North Lake Mall. This
is where we at, man.
It's funny on the broadcast. One of the Panthers players, as Pittsburgh was, doing the victory formation to down the ball to run the clock out, one of the Panthers players yells "fuck" super loud. Picked it up because he knew.
Yep.
You blew an opportunity. You let the Pittsburgh Steelers come in
and punk you in your house.
In your own house.
Yep.
Where the only place where you could win this season.
Right.
Because you ain't been able to win on the road.
Right.
And I'm hoping that the Panthers, they play Detroit next week, which ain't a guaranteed game.
Not at all, man.
Detroit can score. Right?
Detroit's not Detroit anymore.
Right.
And they can put up points.
In fact, they have a better record than the Panthers right now.
Yeah. I think they won today, too. They did win today. Actually.
So that's not a given. I'm hoping the Panthers are mad, and they take this anger to Detroit.
You know what? I have 100% faith that the players, at least mentally, are going to respond. You know what I don't have faith in? I don't have faith in Ben McAdoo and Al Holcomb right now.
I don't.
I really don't, man.
I'm all for Al Holcomb. Okay, you give a guy a chance, but he's just not ready. And
I know what you're saying.
Right.
Like we shouldn't expect much because he's kind of gotten thrust into that position of de facto D coordinator when it's kind of not even
right.
It's
either right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like I kind of want to be objective.
He's having to learn on the job, so I expect him to make some mistakes. But I'll say this: I don't think he made a lot of mistakes as far as the game plan goes, but he wasn't able to make an adjustment.
An adjustment to effectively win the game.
Right,
basically.
exactly.
Right.
Once it became clear what the plan was offensively.
However, let me say something. We try to be objective, right? I will say this: it's a little harder to game plan without Dante Jackson, and I believe C.J. Henderson was hurt today. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, C.J. Henderson was not there.
Was not there, right?
And I think it's probably a different game. Even though we've ragged on C.J. Henderson, he's going to cover Deontay.
He would have covered anybody better than Keith Taylor did today, because that was Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
man.
Not trying to look too far ahead, but Keith Taylor on the Lions receivers, that's boy.
Oh boy, God bless him.
Boy,
yeah.
It's a good question. Man. Does Wilkes coach us next year?
He deserves the opportunity.
I believe he deserves the opportunity. However,
I already know what he's going to say.
Yeah, Tepper.
He's going to try to swing for the fences, man.
Sean Payton has already, even though Sean Payton's people said he's not interested in the Panthers job, I'm sure he's interested in $70 million.
Who wouldn't be?
Yeah.
Man, please.
Shoot. So Payton out there, Harbaugh's name is always getting thrown around.
Here's Tepper. You sure?
Right, yeah, exactly. You see this check?
You see this check, buddy?
Right, yeah. There's nothing written on this line. There's not a number. You just put a number down, right? So as long as that's out there, that Sean Payton, the possibility of Sean Payton or even Mike Tomlin, name has been thrown around as possibly leaving the Steelers. And given Tepper's relationship with Pittsburgh, being a partial owner before,
right?
You think he wouldn't jump at the chance to hire Mike Tomlin?
Plus, you know what? I don't. we not like we know Mike Tomlin personally, not, but if I'm Mike Tomlin, like, what's so bad about a new opportunity at this point in your career? I feel like he's done enough with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Carolina to me would be a perfect segue.
Oh yeah.
You get what I'm saying for his career right now. Like, don't let me speak for that, man.
Here's what I hate. Where does that leave Steve Wilkes though? Steve Wilkes would happily stay as a coordinator for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Right. He deserves that much, man.
But is that really fair to him though, man?
I
would hope another team looks at what he's done with the Panthers and gives him another chance.
Right. But fair is only something you find with pigs at the state fair, bro. That's it. Fair ain't fair, man. So we'll see, man.
All right. Offensive MVP, Sam Darnold.
Do I have anybody? No.
DJ Moore had a pretty decent game.
I don't have anybody different, man. Defensive MVP. This would be interesting. Nobody.
Nobody. Not a single person.
One guy.
Frankie Louvu.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Or Jeremy. No, not Jeremy Chin had a lot of tackles.
I'll comfortably say Shaq Thompson. I think Shaq Thompson played the best game.
He had a real good game. Tackle for loss.
I'll go Shaq Thompson defensive MVP.
It don't matter. Who cares?
We got punked anyway.
Johnny Hecker MVP. He didn't even have a great game. He only averaged 48 yards a punt.
He had a 60-yard punt though. He did have a big one.
Hey, we didn't talk about this last week. I'm gonna talk about this week. Eddie Pinheiro.
Yeah, man.
Ever since the Atlantic,
props to him,
he hasn't missed a kick since the Atlantic game.
We owe him. Look, I'm not gonna say me. We owe Eddie Pinheiro an apology, bro. He's responded quite well, man. You gotta get that man props.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think he missed a field goal since then.
13 straight since we were ready to ship him off to another country.
But even further props to Wilkes for standing behind that guy and say, look, man, we're not giving up on you.
And his teammates too. Apparently, after that Atlanta game, his teammates did not place the blame on him. They went and consoled him.
Yeah.
And because they knew that it shouldn't have come down to that.
Mm-hmm.
And he has responded in kind. He had a 50-yarder today. I would not like to rely on him.
Right.
I will say I felt like the Panthers should have gone for it on 4th down in the red zone late in the third quarter instead of taking 3.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, because you still need 2 touchdowns.
Right.
Like you're still
I agree.
Right. So
however, if it wasn't for your shit play calling,
it
doesn't come down to that. But don't get me started, man.
I don't understand that QB draw, man. Because so Sam Darnold's fairly athletic and he can run as a quarterback, but that's not the play.
You reserve QB draws for Lamar and Pat Mahomes.
That's not the play.
That's not the play, man.
And plus,
we had success throwing the ball. It's not like like they were just shutting the whole pass game down. You know what I'm saying?
Draws don't work all that well also when the defensive line is really good.
Right.
I mean, sometimes you do want to run it against an aggressive defensive line because they'll overshoot.
Right.
But Pittsburgh's their front seven weren't fooled at all.
Dude, Casey Hayward has been in the league 12 years. You think he's getting fooled by a draw, man? Come on, dude.
Not happening.
So you ready to depress ourselves even more now?
We're not done talking about the Panthers quite yet. We play Detroit next week.
Yeah. Ooh, man. What you got, bro?
Well, they play at home.
Which I don't even know if that's an advantage.
Against Detroit, I would consider it an advantage. You're not going to get too many Motor City people here. I'm going to say Panthers in an unexpected shootout, 34-31.
I can run with that. I think the Panthers defense responds. I think the Panthers defense is quite embarrassed how they got their ass kicked up front. And I think the front seven plays a whole lot better next week. So I'm going to go – I always go a little less scoring than you, and I'm going to keep that kind of the same. So I'm going to go 24-17 Panthers.
You know, the Panthers – I thought about this today watching the game. We need a damn middle linebacker, dog.
Man, please. That's an understatement, man.
I mean, you think about Carolina Panthers historically. When have we ever not been
we've never had a bad middle linebacker.
Like all of our middle linebackers have been like Pro Bowlers.
Yeah, seriously.
Going all the way back to Dan Morgan,
right?
John Beeson,
Keekly.
Luke Keekly.
Green wasn't a middle linebacker, but shit.
Well,
man, I mean,
even when we were running when we used to run 3-4, I mean, we had solid Sam Mills. Yeah. I mean, we've had like all these stellar middle linebackers, and now
we're pretty mediocre right now.
Is there Damian Wilson?
Who? Corey Little John?
I don't know.
Whatever, man.
Y'all, the Panthers, do something. I don't know, man.
Hey, man. Draft to be here soon enough, bro. We probably will be on the outside looking in playoff time, so we'll have enough time to scout. Yeah. Now on to further depression.
This is even worse.
This is even worse.
Bad as that was.
Just when you think it can't get any worse,
this is far worse.
Oh my God, this damn basketball team, buddy, man.
I'm gonna just post Rodney's comment here as our segue into
Rodney, if we were getting paid, we would send you a royalty check off this statement, bro, because that's the perfect way to start off this conversation about the Hornets. Don't even know where to start.
I don't even know where to start.
You don't even know where to start, do you?
Okay, let's.
2 games. We had 2 games last week, and which I was wrong.
LaMelo Ball played in both of them.
Yep, which is, I guess, a good thing. But I was wrong because I said 1-1, and of course we go 0-2.
Okay, so I've said this before. It's difficult to evaluate the Hornets fairly due to the injuries.
Yeah, it still is.
Yeah, too many injuries at key positions.
No, Kaiser. No. We're emotional today. Just blame Michael. Blame.
Oh,
Mitch.
That's right. Blame Mitch.
Mike. Just blame.
Yeah, Mitch didn't do anything last season, even though half the people was in jail. Even though half the roster.
We were getting busted for weed and hitting girlfriends. That didn't matter. I'm sorry to interrupt, man. Go ahead.
By the way, Jalen Duren's the greatest player of all time.
Ever. Wilt Chamberlain reincarnated. But go ahead, man. I'm sorry, brother.
So yeah, it is difficult to evaluate them.
Yeah.
However, Steve Clifford, and we like Steve Clifford actually.
I still do.
I still like Steve Clifford.
Yep.
He's expecting something from the players that they can never give him. They're not defenders.
How do we not know that by now?
So
you know what I mean?
The irony is that James Borrego knew that. So he said, you know what? I'm just going to make them an offensive team. And they were the number 1 offense in the damn league. First time ever in Hornets history, right? Because he said, these guys can't play defense.
I can't put a gun in their head and make them play defense.
And we just don't have the defenders. Dennis Smith Jr. and Cody Martin are our best defenders.
And they're sitting on the bench.
Right.
Yep.
So for Clifford to come out, because he made a statement, he called the players out. All they're concerned about is scoring and taking shots, which is true. But that's who they are. They don't know how to play defense because they're just not defenders. Terry Rozier's not a defender. Kelly Oubre's not a defender. LaMelo Ball is not a defender. Those guys are scorers. So in a game like the Detroit game, where we score a quadrillion points and still lose
the damn game, right?
Well, yeah, we can score, but we can't defend anybody because we just don't have the personnel.
Wait. Time out. Plumlee had 18 rebounds in that Detroit game. I thought,
he trashed. Plumlee trash.
Anyway, man, I'm so glad you opened up your segment like that because Kaiser, let me say this for the 9,000th time. We don't do hot takes around here. However, here was my hot take after that game. And I said, I believe this. Let me be very clear. I'm not saying this to be sensationalized, okay? I believe a shakeup is coming. And let me tell you why I came to that conclusion. Mainly because of the way Steve Clifford addressed the media. Steve Clifford came in the room and said, don't even ask me any questions. This is what it is. Don't ask me shit. This is what it is.
Yeah.
He didn't hold his tongue. He didn't hold back. And I believe he's at his wit's end. And this dude is just, he's like, I'm dealing with this for the second time. Okay. I'm at my wit's end. I'm exasperated. And what I see from the guys who are out there, because again, I do still give a lot of credence to the guys who are not there.
Right.
But what I do see from the guys who are playing is just not. It's defensive effort. The effort is inconsistent at best. The attention to detail is seriously lacking. And just that dog, you know how some players have that dog, like, you're not going to score on me. We don't have that guy.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
And all three of those are contributing to this awful defense that we're seeing night in and night out. And it's just, I think I'm over it. I'm sure Clifford is over it. And just like you alluded to, we're now seeing this has got to be a roster problem.
It is.
If you got two different coaches saying the same things.
I will tell you, however, it is possible to win in the NBA with a porous defense. We've seen teams do it before. They don't win championships. I mean, let's look at the Houston Rockets. Granted, they had James Harden, I know. They were a terrible defensive team, and they still made the Western Conference Finals.
I'm gonna say something. I'm somebody from the 4-letter network said this, and I truly believe this. Kaza, you're right. However, look at the two teams who played in the finals last year. What were their defensive rating? They're 1 and 2.
Yeah,
they're 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
So to get to that next step, whatever position you're in now, you got to play defense at some point, man. You got to be able to stop somebody because of this, because of you not having a Bridges, a Hayward most of the year, a LaMelo most of the year. Your guys who can score ain't there.
Right, yeah.
So what are you leaning on? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, LaMelo Ball can score, and he played great actually in his 2 games back.
Although offensively he played great.
But yeah, he can score, but I mean that's last year the Hornets almost had 3 20-point scores, which is actually is rare in the NBA.
It's really good, man.
Okay, the last team to have 3 20-point scores was the Kemba Walker led Boston Celtics. Okay, so now they don't have that. Now that they barely have 1 20-point score, right? So they're not a top offense anymore, and now since they've never been a good defense in the last few years, it's just all falling apart. I think you're right. A shakeup's coming. I do think the Hornets want to get Mark Williams out there. Now, granted, he is nursing a bum ankle right now,
which is, it seems like a.
Who knows with the Hornets?
Man, yeah.
You might have a hangnail, and they're like, "Dog, your knee broke."
He could have COVID for all we know.
Yeah,
according
who knows
to
with the
injury
Hornets.
reports. Yeah,
but I do think they want to make sure that he gets minutes. But Plumlee and Richards aren't playing terrible,
right?
And
I will say Richards has kind of regressed the last month or so.
I was gonna bring that up.
I will say that.
Why there's been a step back. Now he played well against the day before against Atlanta.
Yeah.
But he played terrible
against Detroit.
Yeah. In which is crazy because Plumlee played so great.
Right.
So Richard still has a while to go, and that's kind of why I'm like, you got to bring Mark Williams in. We knew Mark Williams was NBA ready in college.
So you know how we've heard of the rookie wall before. To me, it's just a young player wall. And hell, you could argue, but most of the roster has probably just hit a wall right now.
Yeah, but this is Richard's 3rd season. I feel like you got to be past that. Like, you got to be past that.
It's fair. It's totally fair.
I mean,
especially when you're getting backup minutes. You got all the minutes you want now. So
you can't let Isaiah Stewart.
Oh my God! You speaking of getting punked,
run your ass off the court.
Ooh, speaking of getting punked, my goodness.
Okay, props to Nick Richards for at least contesting the dunk, but you're on a poster, bro. You're on a poster. I mean, you're on a poster.
You are on a poster, bro.
That would be different if that was like a superstar yamming on you.
Right.
Okay. All right. Hey,
man.
But Isaiah Stewart, who, by the way, with 19 points, 11 rebounds that game.
Hey, man, I hate to do this, and I hate to ask you this, but this is a hot button topic. What was your impression of Jalen Duren? Because
very physical, not NBA ready in any other sense. Okay,
I totally agree.
Because he had 19 rebounds.
Yeah,
but Here's one thing that people
did he impress you in any other facet of the game?
Absolutely not.
Seriously, serious question.
Absolutely not. Here's the thing about people forget this about rebounds when you look at people's rebound numbers. Rebounds are predicated on what?
Misses.
If the other team is missing, you're getting a lot of rebounds.
Can I repeat? Plumlee had 18.
Had 18.
Can I repeat that?
And the Pistons shot 51% that game. Hornets only shot 41%. So there were less rebounding opportunities for the Hornets than there were the Pistons. Right. So Plumlee got 18 to get 18 rebounds on 41% field goal percentage from the other team is pretty good.
Not
whereas
bad.
The Hornets 51%. Whereas the Hornets missed a lot. So there were a lot of rebound opportunities, and Jalen Duren did pretty well. But having said that, Nick Richards in 19 minutes, 3 points, 3 rebounds.
That's how I get it done.
I don't know, man. Was Isaiah's Nick Richards physically, I think, might have, but say sometimes he'll make a great physical play, like the block he had a few nights ago on the dunk attempt.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't remember.
Right, I know what you're talking about.
But I was like, wow, that was just a great defensive play, right? Great physical play. And then Isaiah Stewart, who was like 6'9",
comes and yams on,
getting rebounds up, shooting threes in your eye, all kinds of shit. So I don't know, man.
I hate getting punked, man. And Isaiah Stewart just punked us the whole game, dude.
You know who's not NBA ready? Kai Jones. I agree. But you gotta give him his burn, right? He's better than JT Thor.
Hey, man. There's one thing about that Pistons game we didn't talk about, bro. And I'm going to tell you something that really pissed me off. And LaMelo Ball, I'm looking at you, sir. Killian Hayes came into the game as a 31% three-point shooter. Okay? Right? He goes 5 for 11 for 25 points. Come on, man.
That always happens with the Hornets.
Come on, man. Come on, dog. Killian Hayes, man.
I'm really actually with LaMelo, I got to think it's an effort thing. There's no way you can be freaking 6'8". Now, LaMelo's not. He's not super athletic, right? For someone his size.
For someone his size, right?
But we've seen less athletic people. Look at Klay Thompson. Right. Klay Thompson, one of the best defenders of the past.
You know why?
Decade.
Because
he
tries.
Athletic.
You know why?
Effort, right?
It's
He's
effort.
like, I'm long.
Listen, and before people come at us, man, there's too much film out there on LaMelo. When I say film, I mean there are clips on the internet showing LaMelo Ball not giving a damn on defense and getting blown by his guy way too many times for us to be wrong about this, dude. Like, and listen, LaMelo's what, 21 years old? Maybe not even 21, something like that, right?
Right.
This is a part of young players needing to grow up as what? Professionals. Natural talent.
JG makes a good point, though. Melo's been playing professional basketball. Remember, I mean, he came from.
He started professional, but I get it.
He came from pro league. You should know better.
I get it. NBA is a totally different game than overseas, dog.
That's true. Yeah.
And overseas, they value kind of fundamental offensive basketball more than they do in the NBA. The focus is not so much on one-on-one defense. You know what I mean? But the point I'm getting at is that at some point, man, and we said this last year, not just with Melo, but just with a bunch of guys on the team, professionalism.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
have pride.
Have some pride. You can't just out-highlight people.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the Hornets do. When the Hornets get killed, that someone shoot a 3 in their eye or they get dunked on, they try and get it back on the offensive end. I'm gonna go shoot a 3 too. Nope, break.
What did James Borrego say last year, man? He said one of our biggest problems is that when shots are not falling and the offense is not going the way that we want it to, it affects their effort on defense.
There was a sequence during the Detroit game. I think it was Detroit game. All these losses just run together.
They run together, right?
But I know because I made note. I was like, I got to mention this on the show. The Hornets shot and missed 5 consecutive 3-pointers. And the other team scored on each of those misses. Automatically 10-0 run.
Which brings me to another point, Mr. Sose. Why? And I already know why. I'm not even know why I'm asking the damn question.
Rodney's stupid.
Shut up, Rodney. Next time we watch a Hornets game, okay, and we go down 15, 18, whatever it's going to be, right? every time we cut it down to a reasonable lead or a reasonable deficit, or we're close to taking the lead, we always go stupid every single time.
Dumb.
It is amazing how much that happens.
Hey man, if we're down 1, if we score
if we take a 30, no, we're down 1. Let's take a 35-foot 3-pointer. That'll do it.
Let's get the crowd into it.
Let's get the crowd into
shot.
it. Yeah.
It's
amazing. But see, I bring that up because that Detroit series you're talking about, that's exactly what happened. We were down big. We cut the lead down to 2, 3, whatever it was, and we go stupid.
Let's talk about Mitch. I want to address this comment by Ryan because I had a really good conversation with our friend JG yesterday.
All right. What's up, JG? Glad you're on, man.
About Mitch.
Yeah.
Is Mitch to blame for any of this? If so, how much? I mean, he obviously is to blame some because he's the GM, right?
Let me counter your question with a question. Did Mitch Kupchak punch his girlfriend this summer?
He may have, but we don't know.
That was reported.
Right. He probably did. He's probably mad like these motherfuckers. I can't play no defense. No, domestic violence is not funny. Don't joke about it.
We're sorry, y'all.
But
did Mitch Kupchak take a club and club everybody's ankles this summer?
No. Did Mitch Kupchak try and sell a brick of weed? No.
Did Mitch Kupchak tell Miles, "Hey, you're a great rapper, man. Maybe you should do that"?
Right.
Did he tell? Okay. Sarcasm aside, let me break this down again. For those who, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry for being sarcastic, but let me break this offseason down and how Miles Bridges affected the offseason. Let me say this again and again and again. All of the Hornets' plans this summer was predicated around the amount of money that they were going to pay Miles Bridges. Right. Once that domino was in place, now you can plan what you were wanting to do for the rest of the offseason.
Right.
When Miles Bridges went off and did what he did, those plans were just on hold. And not only were the plans on hold, but to be more specific, that court case kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. And Mitch Kupchak is like, man, I've said this 1,000 times. The Hornets want to re-sign Miles Bridges. Let's be very clear about that. Because if they didn't, if they were not interested in re-signing Miles Bridges, they would have had with plans to improve the roster this summer. But no, look, if you want to criticize Mitch Kupchak for something, criticize him for coddling Miles Bridges and maybe what's the word I'm looking for? Appeasing Miles Bridges so much that they could not improve the roster. If you want to blame him for something, blame him for that.
Yeah, I think Mitch Kupchak thought, and this I agree. I would have agreed with him here. I think Mitch Kupchak thought this is a decent roster with some holes, but organically they're going to be better than they were last season.
Right.
We just need to re-sign Miles Bridges. We're going to draft the center, which he did. They drafted Mark Williams. We're going to be straight, and they would have been. If this team starts the season with Miles Bridges, LaMelo Ball,
healthy.
Terry Rozier,
we're not talking about 7-22.
Yeah, Gordon Hayward, and then with Plumlee playing or Nick Richards playing better, Plumlee playing how he is, and Kelly Oubre
off the bench like he needs to be,
and then DSJ comes in and backs up LaMelo.
Right,
this team is not a 7-win team.
We're not here right now, right?
But that didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
LaMelo or Miles Bridges does some stupid stuff.
All the injuries
happen. I get it. Because a lot of people were saying, well, Mitch did not improve the roster this season. First of all, if he improved the roster, none of them cats would have been playing because they would have had ankle injuries.
Right.
Now, Rodney says all those guys, his team is 500. That might be true.
I mean, that's fair.
But they're now 500 now.
They ain't 500 now. They ain't nothing close to it now.
So, it's hard. I would say I'm going to give Mitch a third of the blame.
Here's a point I want to make before I forget. Okay, at this season, we hate this season. It's bad, but let's put this in proper perspective. other than a couple of games, it's not like we get our ass kicked a lot. We're close in a lot of games.
Yeah.
A lot of these games we lost is just because we just don't have the firepower. You know, a lot of these games we lost, it's like the last quarter we just run out of gas because there's just not enough guys who can carry the load. Speaking of which, my next segue into my next question. Mr. Terry Rozier. On one hand, let me be very clear about this. On one hand, I can understand the poor shooting numbers because Terry Rozier is probably asked to do way too much because of who we don't have out there.
Mm-hmm.
On another hand, it's like, if I see this dude go 5 for 25 one more night, I'm going to poke my eyes out. How much, like, are we mad at Terry Rozier? Like, do we understand that there's not a lot of firepower out there? We got to lean on him too much. What are we thinking on Terry Rozier these days, man?
It's hard because, Kemba used to have those kind of nights, right?
Right.
And we always gave Kemba a pass because he had to backpack the team. There was nobody else.
Come on, there was nobody else.
So
man.
with Terry, I think now, there's really nobody else. Kelly Oubre has played somewhat well, I think.
I think he's overachieved a bit.
Yeah, since having a starter role. I think Terry's time here
is coming to an end.
Yeah, yep. Ryan asks, what do we see as far as trades? I think Terry's going to be on the block.
I think he's prime candidate.
Because
I really do.
We've said this before. There are a lot of teams out there that would love Terry Rozier. You think the Los Angeles Lakers would not love Terry Rozier?
Invite him there in the heartbeat.
There are a lot of teams that would like Terry Rozier.
Yep.
I'd be surprised if he's here through his contract.
Yeah,
certainly.
Same.
Gordon Hayward, they're going to try and move him.
That'll be harder to do at this point, but
whereas I think in the offseason, he's certainly gone.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to try and move him and probably Plumlee, not because they don't like Plumlee or what he's doing, but
expiring deal.
Yeah, expiring deal, and you need to get Mark Williams
on the floor,
right?
Yeah.
And you feel like Nick Richards, he's good enough start, right? So, so you can kind of get you can trade off Plumlee. A lot of people think Kelly Oubre needs to be traded. I'm going to disagree.
Same.
I think Kelly Oubre likes being here. First of all,
I just simply believe you don't want him starting. That's it.
Exactly. First of all, I guess we'll talk about shout outs, but Kelly Oubre just did a big Charlotte thing.
Yeah.
Reached out to one of Charlotte's biggest artists to do this big collaboration.
Our very close friend, Mr. Marcus Kaiser.
Whatever, yeah. No, Marcus is my guy. But you don't do something like that if you're lukewarm about where you're at. Right. I think he likes his role here. I think he likes coming here.
I think he likes the city, all that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't see why would you trade him? You got a guy that can easily give you 15 off the bench every night, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now,
plus
Rodney says if you can get a first, then buy. I agree.
I mean, of course, but I don't see that happening.
No one's gonna give a first for Kelly. I don't think. I think Mitchell probably trying to re-sign Kelly actually.
Oh, because
especially if he can trade off Hayward and Rozier.
And plus another thing, Kelly Oubre's contract is not like some albatross either, man. So it's not like some dire need to get him out here, in my opinion. But
yeah. Remember that one guy said Terry would never average 13 points per game? By the way, Terry's averages this season are his career high.
Yeah, but he's not shooting the ball well.
Not shooting well. He's having to do too much. Too much volume shooting.
And listen, and while he is here and going forward, because Rodney made another comment, like Rozier hero ball is nasty, and it is. I'm sick of seeing it. And I hope Clifford makes some kind of effort to say, look, man, if we're in a tight game in the fourth quarter, LaMelo do more. But more importantly, move the ball more. Like one-on-one hero ball ain't worked all year. No. So stop it.
Yeah, I agree. That's gotta quit.
That's gotta change, man.
I do think I think LaMelo actually. If you're gonna play hero ball, I'd rather go
through him.
Through LaMelo.
Yeah,
I feel like he's able to do more with his playmaking.
Yeah. If we're not here already, we're real close. The key's about to be his if they're not already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if they're not, you might as well just start grooming him now. So,
all right, let's talk about this thing we talk about every week. What are y'all's views on PJ Washington?
Mr. Inconsistent.
So Congratulations, by the way, to PJ.
Congratulations on your new baby.
Child number 2.
Yep.
But you gotta be
way more consistent, dude.
Like, I'd rather have so PJ Washington is averaging 15 points per game this season, right?
That looks good on paper.
But the truth is he'll average he'll have 31 game and zero the next, right?
Which averages the
15 points per game, right? I'd rather have an actual 15 points per game from PJ because I think the Hornets would be better, because when he does score 30 points, we win.
Right.
But when he comes out lays an egg, boy, it's rough.
You know, man, with PJ, if I'm speaking objectively with PJ, he's asked to do a whole lot on.
I will say this: he gives defensive effort.
He does
against players he's outmatched against.
And it's a lot of stars he has to guard every night. You know what I mean? So he's exasperating himself on the defensive end. He hasn't had LaMelo most of the year, and he plays so much better when LaMelo Ball is actually on the floor and getting him wide open shots, which hadn't come easy for him this year. You know what I mean?
Right.
But at the same time, man, we've said it multiple times. He is the biggest X factor on this team. When he plays well offensively, we're in way more games when he contributes offensively, man. We just haven't gotten that consistent.
You resigning him?
Not for $20 million. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
I'll give him 10, 12.
You let him go in RF restricted free agency?
I'm gonna steal a saying from Rodney. Go find your market value.
Yep.
Hey, if there's a number, if I'm Mitch Kupchak, I set a number. I say, hey man, if you go find this number, good luck to you in your career. If you don't find this number, let's talk. That's it.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Yep.
That's what I do.
Absolutely. How much of this blame is the chairman, Michael Jordan?
Let me fix my eyes as they roll in the back of my head, man. Can I ask y'all a question when y'all ask me when y'all ask about Michael Jordan? let me get myself together. Michael Jordan is not going to fire a GM this summer. He wasn't going to do that. Michael Jordan, the only thing Michael Jordan can do, and I'm talking about at this point, I don't want to hear about the last 15 years and I've been a fan since 88. I don't want to hear all that shit. I'm talking about right now. The only thing Michael Jordan can do is say, hey, Mitch, this is the direction I want to go. Hey, Mitch, I want to fire sale at the deadline. Hey, Mitch, go improve the roster. Hey, Mitch, let's stand pat and just see and let the season play out. That's what the hell he can do. What are we blaming Michael Jordan on?
Because, dude, Jordan, first of all,
serious question. What exactly are we blaming him for?
Jordan,
I want to know.
Jordan need to be at the games shooting basketballs, right? He need to be dunking on rookies. He need to be
I'm sorry I'm getting so frustrated with this because
it's a very old and tired argument.
It's an old and tired argument, man. Like, do you want him to fire Mitch Kupchak mid-season? That's what he has the power to do. Michael Jordan is not going to go out there and put on a uniform.
You know what always gets me about that? So typically when owners come under fire, they're owners of teams that are in big market franchises.
Right. James Dolan.
Yeah, Jeannie Buss is always going to be
in the forefront.
Right. Those guys, right? Whereas Michael Jordan is he's the owner of the team that is the 16th largest city in America and the 18th largest television market.
Right.
But yet
he's bigger than the franchise.
Exactly.
That's it.
So it's just weird that the media gives him so much shit about the Charlotte Hornets.
Let me interrupt you. I bet you if the average fan did without Google.
Yes, Swagner. Yeah, Mike needs to be the defensive
Is that it? Yeah. Right. Actually, that'll be a correct.
Yeah. Is that against the league rule? Can he do that?
Can he do that?
Right.
That'll be out of the box. You know, I'm actually not pretty mad at that suggestion.
What if Michael Jordan was like, I'm a coach team?
I'm a coach. Oh boy. Ooh, you want to talk about disaster, buddy.
Yeah, Kelly, you better get punched in the face.
It's funny when somebody asked this question today because you seen the thing about Steven Jackson saying he basically came to practice when he was in the Bobcats, and unless you are wanting him to do more stuff like that, dog, what are we really wanting from Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
And don't say, oh, man, you got to spend money when Gordon Hayward is making $30 million a year.
First of all, yeah, any criticism against Michael Jordan, I'll say is, I guess, can be somewhat fair because he is the owner. Except that he's cheap. That is it's the most nonsensical argument.
Listen. Let me give the Michael critics some credence here. I will say this. Michael Jordan may want to do this, and I think it's important to do this right now. And I hope everybody's listening, okay? If Michael Jordan wants to set a precedence for the type of culture that he wants for the Hornets, because when I say I don't know, I really don't know, because we're not in the locker room. We don't talk to Michael, nothing like that, okay?
Right.
I wonder what kind of conversations are being had as far as the type of culture that he wants from Mitch and Clifford.
Right.
We don't know that. So if there's something to improve on, maybe it's that. Maybe. We don't know. Tough to say, right?
It's so hard to evaluate this Hornets team right now. It
is.
I'll say this though: when we get Victor,
it's on now. But listen, let me address that real quick, because I saw an interesting tweet over the weekend. We can have all these Victor dreams we want to, but if stuff doesn't start changing in the culture, it's not gonna matter.
No, it's not.
It's not gonna matter.
Also, those who really feel like we got a chance at Victor, you are always more likely to not get the number one pick than you are to get it, no matter how good your odds are. Right. Yes, your odds may be better than everyone else's, but if the Charlotte Hornets are in the bottom three, thus giving them a 14% chance at the number one pick, that means they have an 86% chance of not getting it.
Right.
And I don't know if you guys have looked at the mock drafts and the draft boards, but it's Victor and then
everybody else.
Some guys who play basketball.
Pretty much.
I feel like if the Hornets don't get the first pick, they'll trade that bitch.
It's all for nothing.
Trade it.
Yep.
Hornets' upcoming schedule looks dismal.
I'm not picking them to win the game. I don't care who they play.
So they play Denver, loss. Sacramento, loss. Clippers, loss. And they play Denver tonight.
Yeah.
So loss.
Yep.
Sacramento, loss. Sacramento's actually really good this season, y'all.
Yep.
Clippers
took them long enough
on NBA TV, so that's a loss. By the way, these are all road games. I forgot to mention.
Yeah, we're on a road trip.
Yep. They play LA, the Clippers on NBA TV, loss. Lakers, loss. Okay, so those are the next 4 games where you see us. And then after that, I'm just gonna throw this in to make your Christmas bright. After that, after Christmas, we play Portland, at Golden State, and then Oklahoma City, Brooklyn, the Lakers, Memphis, Milwaukee.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
All the God damn. Yeah. And then Indiana. So Toronto, Boston. The next time we play a team that has a losing record is Houston on January 18th.
So you know that annual double-digit losing streak
that
we're going? We're here, buddy.
Boy, we're here, buddy. About to be crazy.
Oh, boy. I'm thinking 15 at least.
Yeah,
dog.
I'm not picking them to win any of these games next week. Nope. Also, this is some mess-up scheduling NBA. The Hornets play the Los Angeles Lakers in L.A. the day before Christmas Eve.
Yep. And then
they have 2 days off.
So you're gonna go home and be with your family.
Fly all the way back to Charlotte.
And you're gonna go right back to Portland on the 26th.
And fly to Portland on the other side of the country.
NBA, what are y'all doing?
And then go to Golden State.
Come on,
go. And you know Steph Curry mad. Steph Curry
might be
mad.
Out. He actually might be out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he might be out. Okay. I think he's hurt right now, and I don't know how long they want
to. Golden State trash. I don't know if y'all saw. I think Steph Curry is.
Oh man. Yeah, buddy. But anyway,
Anthony Davis is hurt again, by the way.
Anthony Davis is hurt too, but unless LeBron is hurt, it ain't gonna matter because we just don't ever beat LeBron. So,
boy, if we finish with 7 wins this year. By the way, there's a YouTube channel that I used to love. Sports Nation is hit or miss, but they used to have they have a writer named John Boy, and he has a series of great videos going back at least 10 years. He talks about all kinds of just stuff. Check it out. It's called Secret Base.
Yeah.
But he had a really good secret base video recently on the 7 and 59 Bobcats. It was a really, really good video. I suggest everyone watch it.
Send that to me.
Yes, I will.
Yeah. So we're going on 4 next week, right?
That's yeah. Okay. They ain't winning on these games. Yeah.
I'll say this: if there's any chance to win a game, it's tonight. And I'm not picking us to win. I'm just
not picking us to beat Denver.
Yeah, I ain't picking.
They could win. They could. Yeah.
They could beat Sacramento, but I'm not.
But Sacramento is.
They score the ball. They're
a better team.
They're not bad this year, man.
If LeBron James plays on the 23rd, then
that's an L.
Yeah,
even. The only thing I'm even holding out hope for is that he doesn't play, because that'll give us a chance to win. But I'm not relying on that either, man. So.
Oh boy.
Oh Lord. God.
Okay. All right.
God bless Charlotte.
Let's just roll into our shout outs.
Yeah, man.
Some good Hornets news, like we said earlier. Charlotte artist Marcus Kaiser, a guy we've known for forever. You know, he used to always be at the comic book cons, and that's why he started as a comic book artist. And he's become very, just big time artist. But he had a collaboration with Kelly Oubre recently to release some Hornets inspired art. By the way, Marcus, does he work for the Hornets now? I think he does in some capacity.
He does.
Even though he's a LeBron James fan. I'm just gonna call you out, bro. Call you out.
That's it. We're gonna leave it there too. Yeah, he's a LeBron guy, but
congrats to him.
Congrats to him, though.
That's big stuff, man.
Yeah.
And then I have a shout out at Northlake Mall. Man,
what are y'all doing? There's no Christmas tradition like getting shot at Northlake Mall.
I tell you, and I'm gonna say something. It's controversial, but I don't care because the Panthers suck and so do the Hornets.
Spice it up a little bit.
When you saw the news,
you already knew.
I don't even have to finish. It's crazy that I don't even have to finish this sentence.
I already knew it. I said, matter of fact, I didn't click on it for that reason. I said, you know what? I'll see it when I see it.
It's crazy
every time.
I knew it wasn't.
It was gonna be YBT. I'm just gonna keep it at that.
It wasn't gonna be.
It wasn't gonna be WBT. It was YBT.
It wasn't gonna be Taylor shooting up Northlake. Shooting in the mall.
Oh, boy.
In the parking lot. Okay, sometimes beef happens in the park. First of all, anywhere in Northlake, y'all, the area, you might get shot. My sister, this was years ago. Some people were shooting at each other, going down Harris Boulevard, just shooting each other, and a bullet went through a car.
Jesus Christ, man.
But in the mall,
what are y'all doing, man?
No, that's some Eastland Mall stuff.
Oh well, we're here. Northlake is the
new Eastland.
Eastland was pretty gangster.
Eastland was gangster as hell.
Eastland was really gangster.
But Northlake, I guess Northlake wants to take. Eastland's not here no more, so Northlake's like, look, I'm gonna step in and be gangster. Stop shooting up the mall. Well, first of all, continue shooting up the mall because I ain't going there no more.
I ain't going there.
But I hated that when I saw that.
My message is, parents, talk to your damn kids.
Yes. Man. When I saw that, I knew. I was like, you gotta be. Shooting in the mall.
Why is it every Christmas? Remember the guy that got killed and these idiots were sharing a photo of him.
Oh yeah, they had video on Instagram. Ooh. 2 people were injured in the shooting. One person had nothing to do with the altercation whatsoever.
I'm glad they arrested the suspects, man. Yeah. At least they got whoever did
that. And then Northlake shut the mall down the rest of the day and then immediately opened up the next day. My question is, who goes back to Northlake?
I don't want stuff that bad. Amazon's right there, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, they ain't nothing in Northlake Mall I want that bad, dude. Nothing.
If I want to practice my tactics, my shooting,
practice your escape tactics,
right? Yeah. Then my active shooter training, drill training, I might go to Northlake. We laugh, but
we laugh to keep from crying.
It's just so sad. Every year, Northlake Mall.
It's always something, dude. Always something, man. I don't know. I don't think I have any.
Also, shout out to whoever ran into the damn sign in Carowinds Boulevard or I-77. Why you do that?
Because people can't drive in Charlotte. Because people drive like assholes on 77 mainly.
They not from Charlotte though. That's the thing. They from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. Steelers fans.
Philly.
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, we said it.
Boy. I think that's about all the craziness happening in Charlotte.
Yeah, man. Just Charlotte fans, just hang in there, I guess.
Hey, Christmas is here. Just turn off sports. Forget about it.
Yeah, man.
Have a good time with your families. If you're not with your families, just chill out and have a good Christmas, man. Because next Sunday is Christmas.
Saturday, if you want to, but
if there's some
Panthers actually play Saturday.
they do play Saturday.
Yeah,
We might do a show.
Yeah,
we might do a Christmas Eve show.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all coming on.
Yeah,
man.
Thank you. This is the new. I might. You know what? We might. So next week I might turn the chat overlay on.
Yeah.
But y'all got to behave yourselves.
Behave yourselves. Don't get crazy now.
Okay. Yeah. We don't have moderators.
Don't start cussing each other out. Don't start cussing us out.
We don't have moderators. Although, if you are interested in being a moderator, we need help under construction because we got a new setup back there.
I got a person, by the way.
Yeah. So if you want to come in and intern and learn some audio engineering or video stuff, because this is a lot we want to be able to do, but we can't do it.
And since Rodney dissed us, I'm playing Rodney, but since Rodney dissed us, man, if you
well, when he heard that ringtone, he was like,
well, it's been real construction. they pay over there. We get it.
Yeah.
Rodney, we love you, bro. But if you are good on camera and you know sports, and we will judge you. If you want to take that risk, please holler at us. Let us know, man.
Yeah. Y'all have a great Christmas. Have a great
Peace
week.
out, y'all.
We love y'all.
Let it snow. That's my jam, right?
By the way, confession, I've never liked Temptation Silent Night.
Woo!
That's how we're going to end the show. That's how we're going to end the show.
Whoa!
Donny Hathaway's This Christmas is much better.
Oh, I agree with that.
Black Christmas song.
I agree with that.
Okay. All right.
Well, boy, you whoa, boy.